We are coming to you live via Facebook streaming, via YouTube streaming, and also via Skype. Each one of you is welcome to this live streaming. Sutras of Vigyan Bhairav Tantra. Love is the acid test for meditation. Love is the acid test for meditation. Love and meditation are two sides of the same coin. They are test for each other. If a man is in meditation, no matter how much efforts a woman makes, he will not be deviated. We see the examples of this in scriptures. It is through meditation, when your meditation deepens, then compassion is born. When meditation deepens, compassion is born, and that flows towards the woman, not lust. This is an experience. It is the compassion that fulfills a woman, and her being, her personality, or whatsoever you may call, becomes unique. It is the compassion that is born out of meditation that fulfills a woman, not sex. Just as love is the acid test for meditation, meditation is also the acid test for love. Lust never satisfies a woman. That is the reason, no matter how much lust or sex will be the better word, one undergoes, woman remains restless. It seems that something is lost, something is not attained. A woman gets fulfilled only when she has an awakened one as her beloved. Without that, she is never fulfilled. The moment you are in love with an awakened one, it seems as if you have attained everything, or you have attained to godliness. Meditation increases the intensity of love. It is the meditation that makes you divine. Love gives impetus to meditation, and with meditation, love creates an environment around you. It is in that the seed of meditation blossoms. It is in that you experience the totality of life. That is why there is no conflict between love and meditation. There is a deep coordination between the two. If you consider love, as you know, sex is the mud out of which can blossom the lotus of meditation. Lotus of meditation can blossom only out of the mud of sex. But there is a process for it. There is a deep connection, as we know, between man and a woman. In the same way, there has to be a deep communion or connection between love and meditation. When love and meditation, when man and a woman together, they create a new life. Then, when love and meditation unite together, out of which totality of life evolves. You are born again, reborn. Love happens. You do not need any permission for this to happen. This is why you cannot make a disciple. Disciplehood has to be born in you, just as love is to born within you. You do not seek the permission. In the same way, the journey goes on. So the sutra says, when you are in such embrace, in such deep communion with the beloved or lover, your senses are shaken as leaves. Enter this shaking. But what normally happens, we become afraid. While making love, do not allow the bodies to move much. This is what we do. Shaking means every fiber, every cell of the body gets involved into it. But we become afraid while making love, and we do not allow the body to move much. Because if the body moves, if the body is allowed much movement, the sex act spreads over the entire body, and that becomes very difficult to control. When it is localized in the sex center, it is okay. Mind can remain in control if it is localized. When it spreads over your entire body, or every cell, every fiber of your body begins to vibrate with it, then it becomes difficult to control. You may start shaking, you may start screaming, and you will not be able to control your body once the body takes over from the mind. This is the sutra says. Sutra focuses on this, that Shiva told Devi what to do. We suppress the movements. We do not allow this effect to go in every fiber, every cell of your body. Particularly all over the world, we suppress all movements, all shaking for women. They remain just like dead bodies. You are not doing something to them. They are not doing anything to you. They are just passive partners. Why is this happening? Why all over the world do men suppress women in such a way? There is a fear. Because once a woman's body becomes possessed by it, it becomes very difficult to satisfy her. Because man can have only one orgasm, women's body is capable of having chain of orgasms. Man cannot have. A man can have only one orgasm and women can have chain of orgasms. There are cases of multiple orgasms reported. And any woman can have at least 3 such experiences in a chain, while man can have only one. The woman is aroused and ready for further continuation, then it is difficult. How can you manage it? She needs more orgasm, but man is not capable after one. So as a result, all over the world we have created monogamous societies. We seem to feel that it is better to suppress the woman. So really 80 to 90% of women never know what the ultimate in it is. They can give birth to children, that is another matter. They can satisfy the man, that is also another thing. But they themselves are never satisfied, never fulfilled. So if you see such bitterness in women all over the world, sadness, bitterness, frustration, it is natural. The basic need of the women is not fulfilled. That's why after the act, man goes to sleep, but woman remains awake, sobbing. Shaking is just wonderful because when you shake in your sex act, energy begins to flow all over the body. The energy that flows, that vibrates the entire body, every cell of the body. Every cell of the body is involved then. Every cell becomes alive because every cell has the seed into it. When you were born, 2 sex cells, ovum and sperm, united, and out of that the body was created. When you are grossly, totally involved into it, it is 2 consciousness, 2 energies are uniting together, out of which something else is born. When ovum and sperm unites, body is formed. Those 2 sex cells are everywhere in your body, not simply localized. They have multiplied and multiplied to infinite quantum. But your basic unit remains the sex center. When you shake all over your body or the energy enters the entire body, it is not only a meeting of you and your partner. Within your body also, each cell is meeting the opposite cell within you. the cells have two poles, positive and negative, male or female. Taoism calls this anima and animus. Yoga calls it Shiva and Shakti. When the Shiva, the male element in you, unites with the female element in you, a union takes place. The science says there are two sides of the brain, left and the right, and they are connected to the opposite side of the body. So in acupuncture or acupressure, if we have to activate the right side of the brain, we work on the left side of the body, and vice versa. So when the act is not localized, it not only gives the fulfillment to the other, but it gives you a fulfillment to you as well. The sutra says, when in such embrace, your senses are shaken. And how senses are shaken? As leaves are shaking when the wind blows. What is the wind? The energy is coming, and the energy makes every leaf vibrating with it. A great wind is blowing, and the tree is shaking. Even roots are shaking. Every leaf is shaking. Just be like a tree. A great wind is blowing, and sex is nothing but a great wind that is now a great energy blowing through you, through every cells of you. Shake, vibrate. Allow every cell of your body to dance. And this should be for both lover and beloved, male and female. The beloved is also dancing. Every cell is vibrating. Only then the union between the two is possible. And then that meeting is not mental. It is the union of bioenergies. Sex is not cerebral. It is the union of your bioenergies. Bioenergy is the energy of every cell. Enter this shaking, and while shaking, do not remain aloof. Do not be just a spectator, because mind remains a spectator. Don't stand aloof. Become the shaking. Forget everything and become the shaking. It is not your body that is shaking. It is you. Your whole being is involved into it. You become the shaking itself. This is not mere physical, but it is deep within. Then there are not two bodies. The two bodies disappear. Two minds disappear. In the beginning, there are two shaking energies. Two shaking energies, but in the end, they become a circle, and circle is not two. Look at the electric bulb or any electrical appliance. There are two poles, male and female. They stand together. When the energy begins to move from one to the other, it becomes a cycle. That's why when you look at the magnet, a bar magnet, it has North Pole and South Pole. Each pole has its circumference as a circle of energy. First it is moving like this, then it begins to move like this to the other, and then from the other it begins to move to the other, and this becomes a circle. In the same way, first your energies begin to move around you, and the women's energy is moving in her own way, the south magnetic pole, the north magnetic pole. The vibrations of the female energy, the vibrations of the male energy begins to move. Then they form a circle. When the two begins to vibrate with one another, the circle completes. And in that, when you look at the electric bulb, the positive energy comes from outside, the hot wire, and the negative that complements it comes from the source itself. And when they unite together, the circuit is completed. And it is not only once completed, it continuously flows. This flow remains continuous from one to the other. Circle is completed, only then the bulb is lit. The moment that connection that connects the two poles is broken, the bulb blows. It can happen when the positive current is not coming. It can happen when the filament that connects the two, that is broken. Then there is no illumination. The same happens in the act of male-female relation. Energy comes from one source, it reaches to the other, the cycle is completed, and in completing that cycle, the illumination happens as bliss, illumination happens as harmony, illumination happens as total fulfillment. And out of that, your being is born. Your body is formed when the two bodies meet. Ovum and sperm, the body meets through ovum and sperm. But beyond the ovum and sperm, there is energy field of the ovum, the energy field of sperm, if I put it that way. That is when they begin to unite, and they begin to unite when you are completely engrossed into it, totally, and you allow the shaking to happen. First, the multiple orgasms happen, and in that, the moment you attain to that, you have discovered the divine within you. The union is happening at that level. The communion is happening at that level. It has begun at the physical level. The mud, the seed is sown in the mud. Out of that, with understanding, with a proper way, the lotus is born out of that. That spreads its beauty, that spreads its magnanimity, and that once it begins, it continues to surround you, it creates an energy field or halo around you. Your life moves into that. You become a circle. What will happen in this circle? One, you will be part of the existential force, not a societal mind, but an existential force. You will be the part of the entire cosmos. In that shaking, you will be part of the whole cosmos. That moment is the moment of creativity. That is the moment of creation. It is in that moment the universe was created. You are dissolved totally as bodies. You are dissolved as bodies. You have become fluid, flowing into each other. The mind is no more. All divisions are lost. You have attained to oneness. You have attained to oneness. This is the concept of Hinduism, Advait. The duality has disappeared. Advait. The duality does not exist. Advait does not mean oneness alone. It means more than that. The duality is no more. After that, whatever it is, we cannot say. And if you cannot feel this non-duality, then all philosophies that encompass the non-duality are meaningless. This has to be the experience, not following the Advait philosophy. They are simply words. Once you know this non-dual existential moment, the purpose of male-female relation is to achieve, to experience that non-dual existence. Only then you can understand the Upanishads. What happens when you sit in the company of an awakened one. Upa means sit, Ni means close, Shad is the verb that connects the closeness and sitting. What are you going to do when you are sitting close to one another? Shad, the act, something begins to happen. Only then you can understand the mystics, what they are talking when they are talking about cosmic oneness or wholeness. Then and only then you are not separate from the world, not aligned in it. You are not separate, you are not aligned in it. Then existence becomes your home. And with that feeling that now I am at home in existence, all worries are lost. You are part of this existence. Then there is no anguish, no struggle, no conflict, no lament. This is what Tao is, as Lao Tse calls it. This is what Advait is, an experience of non-duality, living in non-duality, non-dual existence. We are as such as we are mind. Either we move between the two pair of opposites, sadness and sorrow, happiness and unhappiness, good and bad. You can choose your own word for it, but through a deep love embrace, it becomes easy to feel it. But be alive, shaking, and become the shaking itself. That is the only way you can attain to this. Then you will understand that love and meditation are not two poles. They seem to be separate, but they are connected with an invisible flow of energy from one to the other. Male and female are not separate. They are flow of energies that completes this circle. That is why in Hinduism there is a concept of Ardhanarishwar. Unless the anima and animus, the Shiva and Shakti, the male and female element unite in you, then you are not man alone or a woman alone, but you are the union of the two. You are, and what is the union of the two, male and female, within you? What is the union of Shiva and Shakti? What is the union of anima and animus within you? What is the union of positive and negative? What is the union of left side of the brain and the right side of the brain? Is harmony, is oneness, is bliss, is total existence. This is what the second sutra said. We'll take tomorrow this next sutra. Until then, take care and do have a pleasant day.